Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open a book that's a total game changer for anyone who's ever felt a little, well, awkward in social situations. We're talking about Captivate by Vanessa Van Edwards, which is basically a science-backed playbook for connecting with people. So if you're ready to level up your social skills, stick around.
Right off the bat, the author starts with this dedication. And, it just hits home, doesn't it? She's tapping into that feeling we've all had, that little pang of social anxiety. It's like she's looking right at you and saying, hey, I get it. You're not alone in this.
And this is what I absolutely love. She calls herself a recovering awkward person. Think about that for a second. It's such a brilliant way to frame it, right? It's not some permanent personality flaw. It's just a starting point, something you can actually work on and get better at.
Okay, so let's dig into the problem itself. It's that feeling, the one fumbling through a conversation, dreading that big networking event. But the book offers a totally new way to look at this whole challenge.
All right, so here's the big idea at the heart of the book. That old advice, fake it till you make it, it's done. It's over. Why? Well, because it just feels so inauthentic. And get this, in one survey, the number one most annoying thing people mentioned was others being fake. So the book's argument is simple. You don't have to fake anything. Instead, you can actually learn the science behind making a real, genuine connection. So if faking it is out, what's the solution? Well, the book introduces this really cool framework called behavior hacking. And before you think that sounds sketchy, let's be clear. This isn't about manipulation. Not at all. It's about understanding the predictable, almost scientific patterns of how we interact with each other.
So what is behavior hacking, really? Think of it like this. It's taking all that dense, complicated scientific research and turning it into simple, practical tools you can actually use. Like tonight, at a party, in a work meeting, wherever.
And every single hack in this book was built using the same three-step process. First, find some fascinating research. Second, turn that research into a real-world strategy you can actually do. And third, and this is key, test it, tweak it, and perfect it with tons of people to make sure it actually works. It's like a lab-tested formula for getting better with people. But okay, why should you care about all this? Does it really matter in the real world? Oh yeah, it matters a lot. Let's talk about this number, $29,000. That's how much more, on average, people with a high people quotient, or PQ, make every single year. You can think of PQ as your social IQ. So yeah, better people skills don't just mean better friendships. They can literally mean a bigger paycheck. All right, let's get into our very first practical hack. We've all heard it, you only get one first impression. And the science says you have just a handful of seconds to make it count. So how do you nail those first few moments? The book calls this technique the triple threat.
First up, your hands. Now this is fascinating. It goes way back to our caveman days. Think about it. If you saw a stranger, the very first thing you'd check is their hands to see if they were holding, a rock or a spear. That ancient survival instinct is still hardwired into our brains today. When we can see someone's hands, it sends a nonverbal signal of trust. It's literally why we shake hands. So rule number one, keep your hands visible, out of your pockets. Second part of the threat is your posture. See, we're instinctively drawn to winners. And what does a winner look like? They stand tall, they have confident posture. There was even a study from Carnegie Mellon that found that a professional's confidence could be more important than their actual reputation or even their skills. So stand tall, pull the shoulders back. You're signaling that you're a winner before you even say a word. And the final piece of the triple threat is eye contact. This one's a balancing act, right? Too little and you look kind of shifty, too much and you're just plain creepy. The research shows there's a sweet spot, and it's holding eye contact for about 60 to 70% of the conversation. That's the magic number for building trust and rapport without freaking anybody out. Okay, so you nailed the first impression. Awesome. But then the silence hits. That moment of panic when you think, oh no, what do I say now? It's terrifying. Well, this next hack is all about how to spark conversations that people will actually remember. Let's be honest, we're all guilty of this. We get stuck in a social script asking the same boring questions over and over. How are you? What do you do? Our brains just kind of glaze over. But here's the secret. You have to introduce novelty. When you ask a fresh, unique question, you actually trigger a little dopamine hit in the other person's brain. And that makes the conversation feel good and way more memorable.
And just look at how simple these little changes are. Instead of the boring, "How's work?" you could ask, "Working on any exciting projects lately?" See the difference? One is a dead end. The other is a real invitation for them to share something they're actually passionate about.
So, you've sparked the conversation. Now, how do you keep it from dying out? This is where something called the thread theory comes in. The idea is to listen for any little thread of similarity, a shared interest, a place you've both been, anything. That's your thread. And when you find it, don't just let it go. You gotta pull on it. And the process is super simple. You hear something you have in common, and you just say, "Me too." That instantly creates a bond. Then you can dig a little deeper by asking why to find out more. Or if it's something totally new to you, just be curious and ask, "Teach me." Seriously, "me too" and "teach me" might be two of the most powerful and most underused phrases for making a real connection. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that social skills aren't some mysterious art form you're either born with or you're not. There's a code. And the best part is, you can actually learn it. You can take those moments that used to be filled with anxiety and turn them into real opportunities for connection. So let's do a quick recap of the two massive hacks we just went over. For that killer first impression, it's all about the triple threat. Use your hands, your posture, and your eye contact. And for conversations that actually go somewhere, remember to break the social script and then use the thread theory to find and follow those commonalities. This quote just sums it all up so perfectly. The idea that being memorable and likable isn't something that just happens. It's an active skill. It's on you to create that connection, to be the person that they don't forget 5 minutes after you've walked away. And that really brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? The book leaves us with this really powerful thought to chew on. What if being awkward isn't actually a weakness? What if it's the very thing that gives you the motivation to learn this stuff, to practice it, and to ultimately become amazing at connecting with other people?